welcome to the RMIS cinema experience. To ensure an enjoyable experience for all, we kindly request that no phone recordings be made during the screening of this production, and that viewers remain seated until the end of the 35-minute presentation. The production will be available on the Red Meat Kuluma YouTube channel after NAMPO 2024. This is merely a glimpse into the red meat value chain, and we acknowledge that there are many more links and role players involved.
The earliest human survival thrived on the consumption of meat, fueling their bodies with vital nutrients, supporting their larger brains with more complex, sharp thoughts. With this, livestock farming became central to human life and culture, a vital thread woven into the fabric of society. Knowledge on farming with livestock has been passed down through generations, each adaptation reflecting the challenges and needs of its time. This is more than a story on the production of red meat. It's a story of legacy, survival, and the timeless connection between humans, animals, and the natural world. I am John Hall, a South African cattle farmer, businessman, family man. Join me on this incredible journey through the complexities of the modern red meat value chain. All journeys need to start at the origin, and the origin of the red meat story is the farm. I've invited the Red Meat Industry Services team to join me and my family on the farm. We'll be diving into the challenges we as producers face daily, but that's not all. They're here with their new prototype for a livestock processing unit. This could be a game changer for the small and emerging farmers looking to break into the red meat industry.
Take off this one. The South African red meat industry has a potential to grow by 12 billion rand by 2030. In order for us to be able to do that, we will need extra 250,000 winners to be in the formal value chain. So the red meat industry has adopted a document whereby it is in line with the agricultural master plan, which is called an NAMPO. So together, in order for us to achieve the 250,000 winners by 2030, we need to be able to partner ourselves with other stakeholders. Public-private partnership is very important for us to be able to do that. So as Red Meat Industrial Services, we have aligned ourselves with the inclusive growth part, whereby we are looking forward to assist our farmers in order for them to be able to reach that kind of a target.
6 years.
O, hy jack heeltemal af van die trailer af. Die uitvry maar alles uit. Ek nou probeer sê hoe gaan hulle oor hierdie spaarwiel loop om hier af te kom, hè?
The Red Meat Industry Services was established in 2022 as a new central service organization for the entire red meat value chain. They set firm targets for growing the industry for the benefit of all stakeholders. The team's energy and innovative spirit is tangible, and today I'm excited to talk to Dr. Philip Westhuizen about what the RMIS is currently busy with and how they are aiming at that bullseye.
The South African red meat industry. Philip, you are the COO of RMIS and a farmer in your heart, farmer to the core. How would you describe the industry in 3 phrases?
Ja, John, I think the first thing is massive potential, without a doubt. If you compare it to other industries as well, there's a lot of potential that still needs to be developed. But you're a farmer as well. How do you see the industry?
Yeah. Challenging but rewarding.
I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of passion and ambition.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the core reason why we are on the farm. It's because it's a way of life.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do, and I also think it's a responsibility that the primary producers also take on to feed the nation, to produce food for the nation. And I mean, there's a lot of challenges, things like stock theft and variable prices and so forth. And from RMIS's point of view, an industry point of view, we know there's a lot of challenges, and it's challenges that we have to face and sort out. However, I think the passion that the guys have is what's keeping the industry alive.
How do you start prioritizing? Where do you start?
About 2 years ago, a strategy was written by some of the organizations, the Red Meat Primary Cluster, and they really came together to address all these challenges, to identify the challenges. So that's where it all started, is to have from a value chain perspective, an entire value chain perspective, to have one document, one strategy, one objective for 2030.
Philip, this is a lot of info. How do you focus all of it?
Yeah, to focus all of it and to prioritize all of it. And there's a lot of interventions and a lot of action points. However, to try to address all of it at one time or in one year is never going to happen. So we try to put it in focus areas and to make sure that it's a balanced approach as well. So the first focus area or pillar, as we call it, is animal and public health. So from animal health point of view, it's animal diseases. On the other side, it's the meat safety. So in the abattoir sector. So that's the one focus, and there's a lot of work going into that. The other one is inclusive growth. The primary focus on the inclusive growth part is getting the informal market into the commercial sector, and not only getting them into the commercial sector for the emerging farmer himself to be more profitable and sustainable on farm level, but also to enhance the commercial value chain. If you enhance the commercial value chain, you can enhance the exports, and then we've got a value-adding propositions. If you look at the third pillar, it's competitiveness and sustainability. So sustainability in the core sense of looking at climate smart farming and so forth from an environmental point of view is the right thing to do. The last pillar, which is market access. So market access, once again, on two feet. The one is getting the informal sector into the commercial value chain, as we spoke about, and then the other part is the export market. So export market, trying to increase our exports from 4% to 20%, which is quite an ambitious objective to have. However, we have the capability of doing that. The South African industry really has the potential to do that. So a lot of emphasis looking at which countries we should export to, where's the premiums, what the protocols are like, and streamlining that process.
Bridging tradition with technology has become somewhat of a slogan for the RMIS. Can you elaborate on that?
If you look at tradition, as we spoke about, the ambition that we have on farm level, which is really important, and it's something that we have to enhance and that we have to keep it there. And from a primary producer point of view, we have to set farmers up that they can do what they do best, and that's being on the farm and farming and producing on farm level. However, on the other side, we also know that technology is a growing thing, and we have to adopt with technology, and we have to incorporate certain technologies into the agri sector and the livestock sector specifically. So we know that. However, how do we bridge it between the ambition side and the tradition side, making sure that we still have the biology on farm level correct, but incorporating that with the first world technologies that is available. So that's quite a big thing for us at RMIS, and there's a lot happening behind the scenes to get this up and running. So we took it up on ourselves to really look at the technologies that is out there that we should that has a place in our industry and where it should be implemented, and also introducing it into the industry on primary level with the farmers, also throughout the value chain, the feedlot guys and the abattoirs as well. So a lot of emphasis on technology, a lot of emphasis on data and how we should use it. We've got a lot of data all over the place, and we know data is gold without a doubt. So I think that's the biggest focus that we have in a lot of the projects, is how do we connect the data and how do we really do storytelling out of it and to take the data to enhance our industry.
Traceability. Please give us some insight into that.
So that's by far the biggest project and the most important project that we're working on. So we know we need it. However, it has become quite a complex term, and it shouldn't be that complex. We need to simplify it and get a grasp on it and to see how we're going to do it. So from RMIS's point of view, the idea is not to have a centralized database. There's already pockets of traceability data all over the red meat value chain, which is a nice thing. We don't have to start all over. So the idea, and as we said, technology plays a vital role, and actually getting data closer to one another to tell a story. It's a big project. However, the first thing that we're trying to do is allocating GLNs, global location numbers. We actually did quite a few of them already, and the only idea behind that is each and every location needs to have an individual number. We need to know that this is the farm, or this is the feedlot, or the abattoir. However, only having a unique number doesn't really satisfy the need that we have. That's why we went the GS1 route. So GS1, Global Standards 1, which makes a lot of sense to use the number system for two simple reasons. Our entire retail sector is already on GS1 standard, and then the entire world, global market, is on GS1 standards. So why not? Why not tag animals with the same numbering system? It just makes a lot of sense in the digital world and connecting the data to one another. So at the moment we're busy. That's the first step. That's the first building block for traceability, is to allocate these GLNs, global location numbers, to all the farms, all the auction houses, all the feedlots and abattoirs. So that needs to happen in the next few months, and hopefully we can get as many of them as possible. That's the building blocks for the traceability. So we're really excited to share that with the industry as well.
Okay, sure. What Philip says sounds great, and it's clear that technology is the golden thread that runs through the RMIS project plan. But can tradition and innovation meet through technology? Let's put it through the ultimate test. My father, John Hall Sr.
Jong, hier by ons is maar oor die algemeen sit ons maar met siektes wat versprei word deur die bosluise. En goed soos die vlee en die muggies, ook ons maar sekere siektes soos 3 dae stywe siekte en daai tipe goed. So dit vang ons nogal, maar bosluis gewys het ons nou onlangs 'n uitbreek gehad. Seker so 3 weke terug, iets wat ons nooit in hierdie area nog ooit gehad het nie, en dit was rooi water. As jy nie fisies die rooi urine sien nie, dan is dit moeilik om die agter te kom presies, veral sonder 'n veearts.
So een van die goed wat ons by RMIS nou van stapel gestuur het, is juis om te kyk dat ons 'n platform het waar alle veeartse siektes kan rapporteer. En die hele idee is, soos Bruce het om nou gesê het, is die rooi water is dalk 'n nuwe ding in die omgewing, maar weet die buurman dit en weet die veearts langs aan dit in die dorpe naby. En dis die hele idee van die app, is om 'n app, 'n baie maklike app in die veearts se hande te sit, dat hulle die siektes vir ons rapporteer en dat ons regtig uit 'n nasionale oogpunt kan kyk wat gaan aan met veesiektes, om juist te sien waar is die nuwe siektes, waar is die nuwe uitbrake, waar is die trends, en dan die hele idee is om 'n bietjie proaktief op te tree in die volgende jaar, om te sê oor die rooi water is nou 'n probleem hierso, so hoe tree ons proaktief op om op daai manier ook die veeartse en natuurlik na die boere te help om veesiektes bietjie te bekamp.
Ek dink 'n app is 'n wonderlike ding, ek hou baie daarvan. Ek dink dit is een manier om, jy weet, ten minste die veeartse almal op dieselfde bladsy, jy weet, almal almal weet wat in die areas aangaan en as ons aan die siektes rapporteer dan kan hulle soos 'n Engelse woord kan gebruik soos 'n trend bepaal. Want sien dit is besig om plaas te vind. So nee, ek dink dit is reg.
In a world driven by rapid advancements in technology, staying ahead isn't just about the latest apps and gadgets. The key to truly harnessing the power of innovation lies in the developing of our greatest resource alongside technology, our people.
You know, John, in my culture, we have got a saying that says, "Tuto is notale sakatleya."
And that means?
That means education is key to success. As the red meat industry, we have got various trainings that we offer to the farmers. We take education very seriously, and then we make sure that we give information or knowledge to the farmers. So we have got formal trainings and informal trainings. Under informal trainings, we have got webinars. This is whereby we give presentations that are specific to livestock management. So we invite people with various expertise to come and share knowledge in terms of that. So, and then we have got study group. Study group, we go to some villages and then teach farmers with or give them information that is specific to their areas that has to do with disease management and supplementary feeding and so forth. That is number 2. Number 3, we have got farm visit. The farm visit is whereby we go to the farms and look at the farmers' livestock body condition score, look at the grazing patterns, and then try to understand what is the farmer struggling with and also provide the technical advice. Number 4, we have got Farmers Day. We do participate in Farmers Days across the country whereby we give presentations that are specific to specific community. But then we also have programs that has to do with inspiring teachers. And we have got e-learning platform that we have under RMIS whereby we inspire teachers, we give them information that is very updated. And then we have got also the skills development trainings. The skills development trainings are the trainings that are accredited because we understand not all the farmers had an opportunity to go to high school or to complete matric, but also to go to varsity so that they can be able to have all the information. So that is the formal trainings.
Ernest, thank you for all that knowledge. I agree with you, education is important. And I've also got a saying that if you give a man a steak, you feed him for a day. But if you teach a man how to work with his cattle, you can feed the whole village. Thanks for all that info.
Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Then you know, today it will be 2 months, 3 days, 2 months, 5 days.
In South Africa, we have a healthy balance between intensive and extensive production systems to meet both local and international market demands. Feedlots play a critical role in meeting these demands. During the feedlot stage of production, weaners are fed a nutritional balanced diet designed to maintain health and improve growth, and ultimately meet quality. This systematic approach is necessary to keep up with the global demand for red meat while being mindful of our resources. Beyond nutrition, feedlots also implement advanced management practices that prioritize animal welfare through skilled caretakers and veterinarians. These practices are vital for maintaining the quality of life for cattle and ultimately the quality of meat. Psst. Hold on, wait, sit down. Our red meat journey isn't over yet. Sure, we all know the phrase farm to fork. But do we know what happens between the farm and the fork? Adding value to healthy animals involves many unsung heroes throughout the red meat value chain. Today, I'm venturing outside my farm gate for a closer look at what happens to my work after it leaves my hands and before it reaches the plate. Joining me on a visit to a processing facility in my area is one of these unsung heroes, Dr. Shana Lowe. Dr. Shana, well, thanks for taking me with you today. As a VPH, what is your responsibilities, in this very important value chain?
So the importance of VPH is VPH stands for Vet and Public Health, and within this we ensure the conversion of healthy livestock into a safe, wholesome and high quality product that is safe for human consumption both for domestic and international markets. We collaborate with the department in terms of residue monitoring, as well as conducting microbiological sampling to ensure the effectiveness of hygiene, the effectiveness of hand washing, and the effectiveness of slaughtering procedures.
On a typical day, if you visit a facility like this, what do you typically get into? What is your role?
So the first thing we do when we visit a facility is we conduct what's called a walkthrough.
Okay.
And a walkthrough is basically when we walk through the entirety of the facility and we make observations. The observations are in terms of anything that could contribute to contamination of the final product, which in essence would affect the quality and the shelf life of the product. With this being said, once we've identified these risk factors, we then sit with the abattoir management and we go through the hygiene management systems, which is a legal requirement as part of the Meat Safety Act. And we then go through that and we see if their documented procedures align with the practices that are going throughout the production process.
At the heart of the journey lies a critical balance, ensuring the welfare of animals while also addressing the pressing demands of environmental sustainability and economic viability. Today, Alvin Steenkamp, Livestock Executive of Cavalier Group, very generously shares some insight into the years of experience in these matters with myself and Dr. Shayna.
Ik ken myself as mens, maar mens is lief vir jou diere. En op 'n of ander dag kom hulle na so 'n fasiliteit toe om styks te word, essensieel. Jy weet, en ek dink nie altyd almal verstaan hoe mooi en ordentlik hulle die diere hanteer nie.
Ja, ons het jy weet ek myself werk van diere af groot geword op 'n plaas. En van 1990 af is ek in die bedryf. So jy is lief vir diere, jy gee om vir diere en ons het dit net 'n entjie verder gevat hier. So elke jaar gee ons opleiding, 1 keer per jaar. Animal welfare officers. So al die persone, ek dink dis 12, dalk nou 'n bietjie meer, by die voerkraal, hier, drywers, animal welfare kursusse doen. En die kraal, toe ons begin die beeskraal bou, 2012, 14 na lang, toe het ons die kraal met die Temple Grandin.
Ja.
Sy is 'n autistische vrou wat baie toespraak gemaak, baie wat doen die kursusse gee rondom
Dieregedrag.
dieregedrag.
Okay.
En ja. So sy ons daar genader om hierdie kraal te teken. En die grootste ding is om die bees so kalm as moontlik te hou.
Ja.
Want die grootste faktor by vleiskwaliteit is stres.
Ja.
En dan probeer ons die diere kalm hou dat sy melksuur nie opjaag.
Ja.
En melksuur is die oorsaak van daai vleis. So dis maar die ding. So dit begin met die plaas, ry rustig, stop stare, probeer al die goed doen, probeer almal oplei, probeer almal bewus maak van dierehantering en die welfare daar rondom. As hulle sien ons het spieëls aan, so dit probeer maar al.
Ja.
Soos wat sê die metaal, stainless steel, ja. So die stainless steel laat sit dat die bees die ander een sien.
Ja.
Dit lyk op haar bees
Skitterlik imiteer.
dan loop hy net rustig af en kom hulle aan, sit die bees onder skare weer, sy sien die skare weer, so met klein enige doen, solar panel opgesit, die panele. Die prodder word aangeteken en word toegesluit in die ontvangskamer indien dit sou nodig wees.
Ja.
Wat ingaan, prodder uithaal, indien dit nodig is, prodder om hardop terug, sit en terug, word aangeteken en daai verslag moet elke keer gegee word indien 'n prodder gebruik word.
Nou, Elwin, ons het nou hierdie interessante storie gesien van hierdie bokke.
Ja.
Wat nou die skapies uitlei. Vertel my nou net bietjie meer asseblief. Dis 'n verskriklik interessante storie.
Okay, die bokke word genoem Judasbok.
Okay.
Hulle gaan al die skaap op die trap.
Ja.
Die skaap weet nie want hulle gaan nie. So hulle gaan almekaar terug, behaal hulle, kom hulle in. Dis hoekom hulle Judasbokke noem. Maar hierdie twee spesiale name, jy kan sien. Hierdie een kom van 2012, het ek hom van Appington af gebring. Dis klein bokkies.
Ja.
En hulle het mekaar geleer op en af. Jy kan sien hoe lank is jou tande, is hulle net so oud soos myne.
En ek sien hulle deur die skape, hulle is so mooi gehoorsaam. Hier's nie geraas nie, hier's niks nie. Hulle vat hulle net mooi af. Rere vir hulle, dan kom hulle terug.
Rustig, hulle weet al wat doen. Hulle vat hulle net so eentjie, dan weet hulle die skaap loop al.
Ja.
En dan staan hulle daar tot iemand nou maar weer met hulle praat. Ibrahim praat met hulle gewoonlik en sê kom, stap hulle weer terug. Op in die leibankie, draai om, wag vir die skaap en dan sê kom en dan stap hulle weer. Ibrahim en Elwin.
Ja. Ibrahim en Elwin.
Maintaining economic growth with environmental sustainability is a challenge that demands innovation and responsibility. As businesses thrive, so must our planet. Being a factory of the future with a holistic zero-waste policy is becoming a non-negotiable. Cavalier Foods Technical Manager Michaela Pretorius, together with a team of technical experts, ensure that healthy, well-treated animals become the highest quality meat in the most sustainable and profitable way possible.
Sustainability, how does it work for you? What does sustainability mean to you?
Look, John, I think our industry gets quite a bad reputation, and we fundamentally just cannot afford to not be sustainable. We do a lot of things in our facility currently. One of them is you've gone to the lairages, you've seen the beef side of things. They had the nice covering over, which is not only an animal welfare improvement from our side, but on top of those is actually they all have solar panels along with the rest of the roof actually. But not only that, you would have seen that we have that nice mechanism that takes
strange contraption,
but takes out from the digester we get from the animals. We separate the water and we separate the solids, and the solids get actually used in our composting facility where we give it to the neighboring farms and they utilize it for fertilizer. And then on top of that, the water goes into our oxidation ponds where we basically filter it through. It's ultimately a company, it's a business, so we need to also minimize waste, make sure how do we do things the most efficiently with the least amount of waste.
At the end of the day, we are all working towards the perfect piece of meat. So after spending a day in the state-of-the-art facility, it's time for me to move on to somewhere a bit more familiar. My local small town family butcher shop. Butcheries aren't just places to buy meat. They're essential hubs of our economy and the critical link to the consumers. Today I'm joining Marina, Consumer Education Brand Manager for Beef and Lamb SA, on a meat shopping adventure, because every cut tells a story.
Being the brand manager for Beef and Lamb South Africa must probably be the greatest job in the value chain. Working with meat, everything we love, and South Africans.
Yeah, South Africans just love red meat. What more can I say? I mean, braaiing, making your favorite oxtail or potjie to somebody you love or your family. It has become somewhat of a universal South African love language. But in saying that, we can't just assume that everybody's the same. We can't just assume that all South Africans think like our frame of reference. And that is why at Beef and Lamb SA, we made it our mission to do proper consumer insights. So consumers' heads are all over the place when it comes to things such as animal handling, animal welfare, the whole industry, as you've seen it down the value chain. There's a lot of misinformation and misrepresentation in terms of that. And we need to set the record straight. And then secondly, and this is actually a nice one to address, and there's a lack in skills and knowledge when it comes to utilizing the product. So actually cooking red meat, buying red meat, knowing what to buy, knowing what to pick, knowing what's available, knowing which cooking methods to pick. So that is quite a huge drive that we also have. Beef and Lamb SA, since our beginning last year, we've made it very clear that we want to be the influencer to the influencers. In short, we work quite a lot with social media influencers. So we launched our brand with a brand mixer in 2023, where we got to know some of Gauteng's biggest food influencers. They got to know our brand a bit. We put them on a mission to create content for our brand regarding underutilized cats, but in the language and in the style that they do it. So telling their own stories on their platforms to their followers.
In terms of formal education, is there any contribution from Beef and Lamb South Africa?
The Department of Basic Education contacted us last year, and they made us aware that the grade 12 hospitality studies syllabus involves quite a lot of red meat handling techniques, nutrition, things like that in the syllabus. So we decided to align ourselves with the syllabus, and we've been making educational content to not only help the teachers on classroom level, where they cannot always have the resources to work with, but also to inspire learners to further themselves in maybe the butchery industry, maybe the hoteling industry, hospitality industry. So yes, a consumer buys into a whole industry. They don't just buy into a product, they buy into the whole story. We all know the farm to fork, but we need to tell that story correctly. We need to give the correct facts. You've seen how beautiful the story can be, so we need to inspire storytellers out there to tell the story for us. So in the next year or two, that will be the mission of Beef and Lamb SA, to inspire the platforms with a captive audience to tell their red meat story.
As this day draws to an end, I feel proud to have been part of the red meat story that we've got to witness. But luckily, this is not the end. To complete this journey, one thing remains.
We've taken a journey down the value chain, and tonight we're having these beautiful pieces of picanha. To all the farmers, butchers, abattoirs, feedlots, consumers, restaurants, and everybody involved, we salute you.
This is very acidic. It's like olive oil, balsamic vinegar, onion, garlic, Spanish onions, the purple one, and parsley, flatly parsed.
If this journey through the red meat value chain has shown us anything, it's that this is a team effort. Thank you to every link in the chain. We see your hard work and dedication. It's your hard work that inspires us at the RMIS to stay committed to our work, which is to gear the South African red meat industry to become a leader in sustainable production of quality, traceable red meat for a growing population. The RMIS is by your side, and we plan to go far, all the way to the bullseye.
Ek hou baie van julle masjien, maar julle kan hom al gerus hier sal nog.
Dan ook kyk hom.
En hulle kom nog so vir die site. Wat is hulle sê? Ek gaan gou weer. Brand ambassador or the ambassador for...
Nee, ons gaan van voor moet begin.
It's that this team,
So met klein een gedoen, solar panel afgesit, panele. Sit in Afrikaans, hè? Kijk. Maar in elk geval, so...
Maida! Maida!
You don't have to buy a lot of supplements.
En hierdie stukkie nie braai nie.
Ja, ek gaan eers hierdie braai pa. Ons gaan nou kyk wat ons gaan doen met daai.
Thank you. Impressive to hear.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Are we happy?
Ja,